Welcome back to LTV News. It's March 31st, 2025, and we're coming to you from LaSalle University, right here in the heart of Philadelphia. Whether you're relaxing after a weekend of fun or ready to kick off a busy week, we've got you covered with all of the latest updates and stories from campus and beyond. Stay tuned for the most exciting events and inspiring stories that showcase our LaSallian spirit.
And for all the latest updates beyond campus, we got some Philly-centric stories coming your way. We'll also bring you updates from across the globe. Stay with us for more stories that matter to our community and beyond.
Welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything from 20th and Olney to Philadelphia and beyond. My name is Matthew Barra, and I'm excited to be back for another episode of LaSalle TV News as your co-host. It's great to report all of the latest from LaSalle, Philly, and the world. I can't wait to dive into these stories and updates we have lined up for you.
And I'm Destano Tiganov, your other co-host, and you're watching LTV News, LaSalle's TV's go-to source for all things LaSalle, Philadelphia, and the world. We've got a lot to cover in the next half hour, so stick around for some fun and interesting stories you won't want to miss. Let's jump right in.
LaSalle University has named Darius Nichols as the 21st head coach of its men's basketball team. Nichols brings a wealth of experience, having led Radford University to two 20-win seasons. His most recent season saw a 20-13 record. Nichols also led Radford to its first ever multiple postseason wins in 2022 and 23. The new coach is known for his commitment to team chemistry and a tough style of play. He has a history of coaching success at Florida and several other programs. Also a standout player at West Virginia. LaSalle University looks forward to his leadership in building a strong future for the Explorers.
Christina Tina Wall, class of 97, was honored with the 2025 Women in Leadership Award on International Women's Day. Wall is the president of the Barra Foundation and was recognized for her outstanding contributions to philanthropy and community development. She spoke passionately about the LaSallian values that have guided her path. Her remarks inspired the audience to embrace courage, creativity, and compassion in leadership. The award luncheon also honored students Tania Simpson and Felicity Hofford with Women in Leadership scholarships. This event celebrates women who exemplify the spirit of service and leadership that LaSalle embodies.
LaSalle University's annual Day of Giving takes place on April 9th, a crucial event that strengthens the university community through generosity and support. This day allows students, alumni, and friends of LaSalle to give back, funding scholarships, campus improvements, and enhanced programs that shape the student experience. Every donation, big or small, helps provide opportunities for future generations of explorers. Students can participate by donating, sharing the message on social media, and encouraging others to contribute. Together, the LaSalle community can make a lasting impact and ensure a brighter future for the university and its students.
LaSalle University's International Market class, led by Dr. Swim-Lee Chia, embarked on an unforgettable journey to Germany and France over spring break. This immersive experience allowed students to explore global business practice firsthand. In Germany, they visited the Audi factory and the Faber-Castell pencil factory, gaining insight into world-class manufacturing and branding. In France, they toured Salle, a leading software company, to learn about innovation in technology and marketing. This trip provided students with invaluable international perspectives, strengthening their understanding of global business strategies and preparing them for future success in a competitive world of international marketing. On LTV News, we love to take a look at the people and places making a difference in the city of Philadelphia. One of those places is Le Cat Cafe in Brewery Town. LaSalle TV reporter Angel Lazaro takes us to the cafe that provides a temporary home to cats waiting to be adopted. You can enjoy a hot cup of coffee while you play with a kitty who could be your new best friend. Let's take a look.
In Philly right now, it's about 400,000 stray cats. So Green Street Rescue and other rescues and efforts are being made to try and help with keeping those cats in a healthy state. Visitors, when they come in, we do have a minimum required donation to visit, and all of that, the money goes back into the rescue, which helps with getting vet care for these cats. We have a lot of fun toys for the cats that guests can play with when they're here for their visit. We also have a nice coffee station for people if they want to have some coffee, cider, tea, cocoa. And for the cats, we've got climbing areas. We have a catwalk where they get to climb up in the ceiling.
I love watching cats. I would consider myself more of a cat person than a dog person, mostly because I really enjoy just seeing them in their natural element. And it's nice not having to feel the pressure to interact with them, but having them in this space.
And then we also do fun events, so we'll do things like game night or cats and crafts. We do other fun events like yoga with cats, really bring people and the cats together in different settings that are beyond just our typical cafe visit. All of our fostering and adoption, it goes through Green Street Rescue. So we do have everything be approved by them first. So that would be an application process. It's actually the first cat cafe in Philly. So I thought that was really exciting to be a part of. So they've been here for about 8 years now, a little longer than that. And over that course of time, Green Street Rescue was able to rescue about more than 6,000 cats. Supporting not just Le Cat Cafe, but any of those efforts that are trying to get stray cats off the street and into homes would be very helpful.
If you're interested in visiting the cafe or learning more about helping the cats there, visit their website at lecatcafe.org or check out their Instagram at lecatcafephilly. The historic Wanamaker organ in Macy's Center City played its final notes as the department store closed its doors. For many, the organ's sound was a beloved part of the Philadelphia landscape. Locals gathered to soak in the last performance of the iconic instrument. The Wanamaker organ, the largest of its kind in the world, will be missed by generations of Philly residents who grew up hearing its melodies. A symbol of Philadelphia's rich history, its final performance marked the sad end to an era.
Combat veteran Steve Cost has turned scrap metal into meaningful artwork through his brand Metal Health Artwork. Cost uses his creations to combat anxiety and depression while giving others hope. His marionette artwork is just one of the many expressive pieces he has made from old tools and scrap metal. Cost has exhibited his art at the Library of Congress and the Illinois State Museum. He also received recognition in 2024. Costa's art reflects a journey that began after his service in Somalia in 1992. He now uses his art to inspire other veterans and show that there is still a sense of purpose.
Well, the 9th annual Muhabba Dinner will be held in South Philadelphia on March 25th, bringing together 6 chefs to celebrate cultural diversity through food. Head chef Angie Branca of Compar Restaurant, who initiated the event, said Muhabba means coming together in peace and tolerance. Even after a devastating fire ravaged Compar just after a James Beard Award nomination, the local community came together to make sure the dinner would go on. The event will benefit Esperanza Immigration Legal Services and will feature a surprise menu. Tickets can be purchased through the Muhabba Dinner's website. Now that it's spring, flowers are beginning to bloom all around the city. However, our LaSalle TV reporter, Patrick O'Hara, found a small business that is always in bloom. He took time to smell the roses at something different in flowers.
I opened here in 1980, and when I did open, there were 8 other flower shops in Roxborough. There's now 0. We offer a wide variety of fresh flowers, plants, occasional fruit basket, candy towers, and things like that that people send for both happy and not so happy occasions. Quality with us is bar none. There's a certain limited shelf life of product that we get in, and if we can't use it, it's trashed. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's what separates us from a lot of different sources of flowers. You know, they put stuff out on a Monday, it's still sitting out on Friday. We don't do that. The biggest thing we can do here, and I tell my staff the same thing, listen. Listen to what they're telling you. They're the customer, it's their choice ultimately. We try to advise, but more often than not, you know, we give them what they want. Sometimes people maybe carried a particular flower in their wedding bouquet, or their mother and father did. Now they passed away and they want to incorporate that into their memorial service. You know, it's special to them, it's got to be special to us. There's about 7 or 8 churches we do on a regular basis for all the religious holidays. They're like clockwork. They'll be on the horn, they'll be ordering, we'll be happy to take care of them. We're proud to do it. Everybody's event is important, so we try to treat it that way. And we'll do it just like that, so it'll be easy for you to get your hand in it. We're located in Roxborough, 399 Leverington Avenue, right at the intersection of Leverington and Peachin. We're here daily from 9:30 to 5, Saturdays till noon, closed on Sunday.
Well, if you can't wait for the spring flowers, you can visit somethingdifferent1.com to see what they have in store.
The Southeast Asian Market at FDR Park in Philadelphia will open Saturday, May 5th, after delays due to leadership changes. Operating on weekends from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. through October, the market features over 70 vendors selling popular dishes like papaya salad and mango sticky rice. Started in the 1980s by Lao and Cambodian refugees, it has grown to become a national icon celebrated by food lovers. The market will move locations from near the Broad Street exit to the Taney baseball field in June. It will soon have a permanent home in the park thanks to a $100,000 grant.
Cedars House Cafe in Wissahickon Valley Park permanently closed on Sunday, March 23rd, after the owner said the business couldn't afford necessary repairs. The cafe, which sat at the foot of the Forbidden Drive in Andorra, had been a local favorite and a safe haven for the community. The family-run business struggled with rising costs and a historic building that needed substantial fixes. Regulars who frequently visited after running on the trail expressed sadness at the closure. The family said they were grateful for the time spent serving the community and will always cherish their memories at Cedars House Cafe.
California branch wildfire in Wharton State Forest has now been fully contained after burning more than 2,000 acres of land in South Jersey. The fire started Saturday afternoon in Waterford and quickly spread across the Mullica River into Shamong Township. As a precautionary measure, both Atsiant and Goshen Pond campgrounds were evacuated. Crews remain on site and smoke is expected to linger until rain can help calm the area. Fire officials say the situation has now been under control and thank the community for their patience and understanding throughout the challenging event.
Forever 21 has filed for bankruptcy in the U.S. for the second time in 6 years after struggling to keep up with the rising costs and online competition from fast fashion giants like Shein. The company said it will conduct liquidation sales and is looking for a buyer for some or all of its assets. Forever 21 first filed for bankruptcy in 2019 and closed 200 stores. The brand could not keep pace with Chinese e-commerce companies and the shift to online shopping during the pandemic. Forever 21 now has more than 540 locations worldwide, but the future remains uncertain.
Keeping up with our national politics can be difficult, so we've called upon another LaSalle TV show to help us. Exploring politics analyst Matthew Barra explains the recent scandal to hit the nation's security officials, as a journalist was added to what should have been a private discussion. Let's turn it over to Matthew for more regarding the Signal chat leaks.
Well, after a bombshell report released from The Atlantic, U.S. District Judge James Boasberg has ordered all parties involved in the Trump administration's leaked Signal chat to preserve their communications from March 11th to March 15th. The controversy erupted after The Atlantic published a report revealing that top administration officials had accidentally included the magazine's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, in a Signal group chat where they discussed military operations against Houthi rebels in Yemen. The high-profile group, called the Houthi PC Small Group, included numerous Trump administration officials, including Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller. Michael Waltz added Goldberg to the group and wrote, quote, "Team, establishing a principals group for coordination on Houthis, particularly for over the next 72 hours. My deputy, Alex Wong, is pulling together a Tiger team at deputy/agency chief of staff level, following up from the meeting in the sit room this morning for action items, and will be sending out that list later this evening. Please provide the best staff POC from your team for us to coordinate with us over the next couple days and over the weekend. Thanks." After team members designated the members of their staff, the Vice President, J.D. Vance, expressed concerns. He said, quote, "Team, I'm out for the day doing an economic event in Michigan," which he was, "but I think we are making a mistake. 3% of U.S. trade runs through the Suez. 40% of European trade does. There's a real risk that the public doesn't understand this or why it's necessary. The strongest reason to do this, as POTUS said, is to send a message. But I'm not sure the president is aware how inconsistent this is with his message on Europe right now. There's a further risk that we see a moderate to severe spike in oil prices. I am willing to support the consensus of the team and keep these concerns to myself. But there is a strong argument for delaying this a month, doing the messaging work on why this matters, seeing where the economy is, etc." Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth responded, "VP, I understand your concerns and fully support you raising with POTUS. Important considerations, most of which are tough to know how they play out. Economy, Ukraine peace, Gaza, etc. I think messaging is going to be tough no matter what. Nobody knows who the Houthis are, which is why we would need to stay focused on 1, Biden failed, and 2, Iran funded. Waiting a few weeks or a month does not fundamentally change the calculus. 2 immediate risks on waiting. 1, this leaks and we look indecisive. 2, Israel takes action first or the Gaza ceasefire falls apart, and we don't get to start this on our own terms. We can manage both. We are prepared to execute, and if I had a final go or no-go vote, I believe we should. This is not about the Houthis. I see it as 2 things. 1, restoring freedom of navigation, a core national interest, and 2, reestablish deterrence, which Biden cratered." National Security Advisor Waltz added, quote, "As we stated in the first PC, we have a fundamental decision of allowing the sea lanes to remain closed or to reopen them now or later. We are the only ones with the capability, unfortunately. From a messaging standpoint, we absolutely add this to the list of horribles on why the Europeans must invest in their defense." J.D. Vance replied, quote, "If you think we should do it, let's go. I just hate bailing Europe out again. Let's just make sure our messaging is tight here. And if there are things we can do up front to minimize risk to Saudi oil facilities, we should do it." And Hegseth went on to conclude, "VP, I fully share your loathing of European freeloading. It's pathetic. But Mike is correct. We are the only ones on the planet, on our side of the ledger, who can do this. Nobody else is even close. The question is timing. I feel like now is as good a time as any, given the POTUS directive to reopen shipping lanes. I think we should go, but POTUS still retains 24 hours of decision space." Now, ultimately, the team did conduct missile strikes on the Houthis, destroying several areas controlled by the terrorist group. The preservation order for these messages comes from a lawsuit filed by the American Oversight, alleging that Trump officials violated the Federal Records Act and the Administrative Procedure Act by using Signal, an encrypted platform in which messages can be deleted. The Obama-promoted judge is the same judge who has been at the center of a separate legal battle with the Trump administration over deportations of Venezuelan nationals. Earlier this month, Boasberg issued a temporary restraining order blocking the administration's use of the 1798 Alien Enemies Act, that's from the John Adams administration, to deport gang members to El Salvador. The judge's order to return flights happened just as the flights were already airborne. the administration proceeded with deportations, transferring 238 plus Venezuelan men to an El Salvadorian jail after reaching an agreement with the president of El Salvador. The D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals upheld Boasberg's order in a 2-1 decision, and the Trump administration has vowed to appeal it to the Supreme Court. A groundbreaking gene therapy has cured a 21-year-old man of sickle cell anemia. Sebastian Bosel received the Lyfgenia treatment at Cohen Children's Medical Center in New York in December of 2024. The treatment uses a donor's healthy hemoglobin to replace the sickle-shaped cells that cause pain and damage. Bosel, who had suffered with severe pain and ulcers, is now pain-free and considers this a, quote, new birthday in his life. Doctors believe Lyfgenia will replace bone marrow transplants and become the main treatment for the disease. His success marks a hopeful new era for others with sickle cell.
In a landmark case in Italy, a judge has ordered a cactus smuggling ring to pay moral damages after they trafficked endangered plant species from Chile's Atacama Desert. The convictions came after Andrea Pombietti and Mattia Crescentini were found guilty of smuggling rare cactus species. Instead of just punishing the offenders, the court ordered them to pay over $21,000 to an NGO called the Association for Biodiversity and Conservation. This payment will fund conservation efforts in the Atacama Desert. This novel approach could signal a shift in how the world approaches environmental restoration after criminal activities.
Harley-Davidson founder's home in Scotland has been saved from demolition thanks to devoted bikers and the company itself. The historic Davidson Cottage was home of William C. Davidson, who emigrated to America in 1857 and helped establish Harley-Davidson. After years of restoration by biker fans, the home was at risk of being lost, but a campaign raised over £300,000 to save it. The Harley-Davidson Company donated the final funds needed to secure the property. The Davidson Legacy Preservation Group expressed gratitude to everyone who helped keep the legacy alive and plans to further preserve this iconic piece of motorcycle history.
Cinnamon Daniel made history in women's college basketball as the first female player with only one arm to score in a Division III game. Born with a right arm too small to fully use, she persisted through challenges and made her shot from the three-point line against Fitchburg State. Despite being cut from her high school team, she never gave up, and after years of hard work at Warren Wilson College and Lesley University, she shone on the court. Coaches and teammates celebrated her persistence, and the moment was preserved in history. Her inspiration is now helping other athletes overcome physical limitations and chase their dreams. That's all for today's episode of LTV News. I'm Destano Tiganov. Thank you for tuning in and joining us on this journey. Stay tuned for more stories that matter to our community.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of LTV News. I'm Matthew Barron. It's been great having you with us. Be sure to join us next time for more key stories from our campus, community, and city. Until then, stay safe.